But going back to visual novels, right?
Oh,
that we would recommend to beginners, aka
Jesus Christ.
not
It's
fucking.
like it's like one pain to another. For me today.
Okay, other than Doki Doki Literature Club, what's like another visual novel that you would recommend to Connor?
Undertale. I'm kidding.
God, Undertale.
I don't know, because
There are none. Psych.
Okay, question: would you recommend Katawa Shoujo?
Because Shoujo also has like Act 1 is it takes reading through Act 1 to get really invested into Katawa Shoujo. Katawa Shoujo is great, by the way.
Yeah.
But
Is it like a 10 million sabers in that as well?
There isn't 70 Katawas, unfortunately.
Katawa Shoujo actually has a very, very interesting backstory.
Okay.
Because
Tell me on it.
No, because I mean, I feel like the backstory is almost as interesting as the visual novel itself. I don't want to say too much because I'm also working on a visual on a video on it. But it's a visual novel that basically originated from 4chan. And
can you believe something good actually came out of 4chan?
No. So it's like a dating simulator with crippled girls from 4chan, and you say that, and you're like,
I don't know about that one, Chief.
I don't know about that one.
SJWs be quaking.
Yeah, but like it's one of the most like wholesome kind of inspirational stories about how these disabled girls like really are just normal people and just like how they deal with their disabilities. And
that sounds
like
good.
That. Yeah, it's
great.
I'd read that.
It's fantastic.
It's actually a really, really good visual novel. And if like, how much patience do you have though? Because I've seen you gaming, right? If you're not doing something within the first 5 seconds, if you're not like headshotting the headshotting,
if you're not
a fucking
360
noob,
no scope in the first 10 seconds,
I can. I have an amount that I can like power up in myself.
But
like,
is it enough to go through the first chapter of Katawa Shoujo?
why is it that bad?
It's a bit of a.
It's not bad.
It's
but
not. It's a bit of a read.
How long
though.
is the first chapter?
Oh, that's a good question.
I was
I
sitting
can't
there, honestly,
remember. I can't.
Depends
like
how fast.
Hour?
Depends how fast you read.
An hour or more?
Yeah, I'd say like an hour. Or
That's
two.
a lot of time.
Hour or two, maybe.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
But that's the same with Doki Doki because like it takes an hour or two to get through the first half.
But mind you, unlike Doki Doki, which is about a 6 to 7 hour game, Katawa Shoujo is about 30 to 40 hours.
That's fine.
So compared to that, an hour is not too bad until it starts.
Honestly, I do
picking up.
think Sayano Uta would be really, really good for someone like you because I know you can handle that shit, and that was something that hooked me instantly.
Maybe I'll stream. Am I allowed to stream it? Is it a game I can stream?
No, it's banned on Twitch.
No.
Oh jeez!
Yeah.
God damn it!
It was the first visual novel that was banned on Twitch because, of course, Gen Urobuchi be out here just being like, I'm not making anything that's family friendly. I'm here to traumatize everybody that plays my shit.
No, because it's a story. It's a visual novel that doesn't have that, entry period. It has a very interesting concept, and it just kind of hooks you right away. And for me, I remember just reading Sayano Uta, and I read it all in like one sitting because I just wanted to know immediately what happens next. Like there was no break from me starting it to finishing it. In terms of like visual novel type games, I don't know, like. Okay, here's the thing. Would you count the Persona series as like a visual novel with a lot of gameplay in it?
Oh, that seems like an RPG to me.
Okay, the thing with the Persona series is that it's really interesting because yes, it is a JRPG, but a whole lot of the JRPG element and like how you play the JRPG element of that game is dependent on the visual novel side of the game.
Yeah.
Because what the Persona series did, which I think is fucking genius, is that they the way that they made you sit through the story of Persona, and it's a long story if you've played any Persona game, right?
Yeah.
The genius way that they made you sit through is that by sitting through it and physically interacting with certain characters in certain ways, it changes how strong you become in the JRPG element.
Yeah.
So what you do is you form, at least in Persona 5, what you do is you by talking to certain characters and befriending them and like going out to do these like normal everyday things, you would level up your different abilities. And those abilities then get directly reflected in the JRPG element. So the more you're involved in the story, the easier time you will have in the JRPG elements. And what that forces you to do is that not only is it interesting because it's like you're playing 2 different games at once, but you are literally forced to sit through the story.
Yeah.
So everybody that plays it enjoys the story.
So like if you imagine like a gacha game, right? So in every gacha game, there's like the gameplay element and then there's the gacha element.
Well,
right?
I played Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Right.
And
right.
that had a lot of story building, which I found so boring.
Oh, you found that boring?
Yeah, I found it really boring.
But-
I would just skip whenever they start talking. I'm like, beep, 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 beep.
But the thing is, Fire Emblem Three Houses kind of did the same thing, where you doing everyday things around the campus would affect you in battle.
I mean, I liked Fire Emblem Three Houses, right? I enjoyed what I did, but I for whatever reason, man, the moment I see text pop on my screen, I'm like, I'm like, you are in the way of my gameplay.
You are so monkey brain.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got that fucking monkey
No, dude,
brain.